Hi, everyone. Lisa Haven here. Well, in today's broadcast, I want to share with you information that the mainstream media is keeping from you yet again. But this information you desperately need to know about because it will help you prepare for the future. And not just us here in the United States of America, but this applies to us all across the globe because there is some major turmoil headed our way. So much so that even globalist leaders are coming out and experts are coming out saying, hey, America and globe, there is a crisis and we're running 90 miles an hour into it. Now, before I get into the report, I got to give a shout out to my partner. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my partners, but healthwithlisa.com. If you've noticed my skin looking better, my hair, my nails, all that, well, this is in part due to BioTrust at healthwithlisa.com. If you're looking for a really good collagen product that aids with that, this is absolutely, I'm convinced, the best on the planet. But check it out and get up to 51% off at healthwithlisa.com. All right, so let's dive into some of these multiple warnings that are being issued because these are very important warnings. And even though some of these are coming from tyrants or dictators, as we like to call them, I still think when they get pushed into a corner, they have to actually admit it because something is actually happening on a global scale and it's not looking good. But take a look here, Politico.com. French foreign minister warns of global famine. This is a French foreign minister saying, hey, look, we're headed 90 miles an hour, by the way, by their own policies, their destructive policies that were caused when they locked down their countries and put all the mandates and measures in place like these vax mandates. That's what's causing it and that's what's at the core. And now we're facing a global famine. And not just the French foreign minister warning of that. We also know Biden, who I can't stand, also told us here in America that we would be facing it. Here's Fox News. Biden warns of real food shortages following sanctions on Russia. Of course, he's going to blame it all on the war. It all has to do with the war. That's just not true. Some of it, absolutely, but not at all. Then we also have this latest warning by a CEO, and this is on Fox News. Russia-Ukraine war is having devastating effect on our food supply, says the Goya CEO, as inflation rose 7.9% in February, a new 40-year high. So we have leaders, we have CEOs. Here's another one here you need to see. And this is China AG minister says winter wheat conditions could be the worst in history. This is another warning coming out about our food supply. And here's another one here. Experts warn of higher meat cost as fuel prices rise for farmers and ranchers. So we all have all of these warnings being issued. There's also warnings that I have covered on restrictedrepublic.com where, and by the way, you want to subscribe to there and check it out. But there is where I've shared a lot of information on, we had World Health Organization, United Nations, all admitting that this crisis is underway. So I really, really hope that this information harkens you to prepare and be ready, because if you're prepared, then you don't have to worry so much when a crisis hits. Now, that said, right now, they're already rationing as a result of these crises in other countries. Take a look here. And this is on MSN.com or Fortune. Gas in Germany, flour in Greece, sunflower oil in Spain. European countries take steps towards rationing as the war in Ukraine adds to the global supply crunch. So right now, we already have food rationing happening in some of these European countries. And we're going to have rationing, I believe, again, here in the U.S. You know how they ration toilet paper? You can only have so many. You can only have so many of fill in the blank. Every time we've had World War in the past, there has been rationing here in the United States of America. And under Biden and his destructive policies, I don't see things getting better. And right now, we also have Russia threatening to send food only to certain countries. Take a look. Breitbartnews.com, global food crisis. Russia threatens to limit vital agricultural supply to only friendly countries. And just a note there, that would mean the United States is not included in one of those friendly countries, I would assume, especially at this level, maybe even a lot of European countries. So, and I know I've done a few reports on the food crisis that we're all now seeing when you go to the grocery store. But the bottom line is we have a lot of people saying, prepare, get ready, this is what's coming. And here's what else is adding to this. And I think this is an important point because a lot of our chicken are dying due to the latest bird flu outbreak, right? Take a look here. And this is on rawstory.com, and it's Iowa's bird flu death toll up to 13 million. That's just in Iowa. And here we have Iowa farms to lose 5 million birds due to bird flu. We have all these birds, right? And we have up to top like 13 million. This is going to have serious repercussions on our chicken, on top of an already hurt and broken supply chain crisis, food crisis, and the whole 9 yards. And meanwhile, on top of all these crises that we're having in the United States of America, Biden isn't putting forward any plans to fix it, any plans to make it better, any hope. Instead, he's all about worried about pushing new Green Deal policies and CRT and opening up our border, which is going to cause a catastrophe, in my opinion. Take a look here, foxnews.com. This is just adding more crisis to us when we're already down. Here's Tammy Bruce on Fox News. She warns of a cataclysm at the border if Title 42 is lifted. It's going to be a freaking disaster, and she isn't wrong. This is something, Title 42 should not be lifted, especially in the middle of the crisis that we're at. And this is just going to cause more turmoil to our economy and more devastation on top of putting our country at risk of bankruptcy because he wants to pass more billion and trillion dollar budget plans. Take a look here, foxnews.com. Biden's budget would bankrupt America and put national security at risk. And I can't say I necessarily disagree with this opinion article by Nikki Haley here, Fox News. So there we have it. He wants to add more and make inflation worse here in the United States of America with his new budgets and asking for more and more money. This is going to break our country. We could very well go bankrupt on the top of a food crisis, on the top of a war crisis. This isn't somewhere that we want to be. And this is why I say this is information that you should desperately know about, because the more of us that are ready for a rainy day, so to speak, the better. And my heart goes out because we just have somebody's who I think we should take the 25th Amendment on in charge of us right now. And it's, why is this even allowed? I have no idea. And I don't know. We need to get the right Congress in there in midterm elections so we can get this guy out through the 25th Amendment, because he's not all cognitively there. Even his doctor came out recently. I'm going to be putting out a report on Researcher Republic, but his doctor came out and was talking about how gone Joe Biden is. And this is not his doctor, but former doctor of Obama and President Trump, I believe. And he's saying somebody needs to do a cognitive test on this man because there are some serious issues. Meanwhile, we're getting hammered here in the U.S. by these destructive policies, and basically hammered even more when we're down. Hey, let's just, drop Title 42 when we're in the midst of a crisis. And let's just, push more green agendas when we're in the middle of a crisis and our businesses can't really handle it. Doesn't really make much sense unless we, the people, are the real target, unless they want to put some kind of new system in place, which we already know has been talked about, this system, Great Reset system. It's headed in our direction as long as we have these destructive policies brewing here in the United States of America. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.